Hello everyone, I'm Mikio Obuchi, a PhD student at Dartmouth College. Today I am excited to present my work predicting brain functional connectivity using mobile sensing. Yes, this sounds very cool and challenging. By the way, this background image is my brain. Okay, many researchers, including our group, have utilized mobile sensing in order to study people's mental health, including depression and schizophrenia. The reason why we are using mobile sensing is that it has a variety of sensors such as GPS, microphone, phone usage, and so on. And by processing those data, we can extract a lot of behavioral or contextual information. Also, many researchers use EMA, ecological momentary assessment, to measure people's mental states during the studies. The most unique part of this work is that I'm integrating mobile sensing and brain imaging using an fMRI for the first time. Our goal here is to see if we can predict brain connectivity between regions in the brain associated with anxiety by using mobile sensing. Okay, many people suffer from mental illness. Depression and anxiety are very common mental illnesses, as you can see the statistics here. The question is, how should we assess the mental states of the participants if we want to study them? Typically, researchers often use validated surveys such as GAD-7 for generalized anxiety disorder. The survey can assess anxiety with high sensitivity and specificity and typically used as a ground truth of an individual's mental state. In this study, we wanted to explore a new way to measure people's mental well-being. And we found that brain imaging data would be a good objective data that can be related to people's mental health. Neuroscientists have studied a lot of brain mechanism and people's cognitive processes, and we wanted to build a bridge to bring their knowledge to our mobile sensing area. Okay, you might be thinking, how do we measure brain activity? So there are a lot of methods, but in the current study, we are using fMRI as it has a high spatial resolution and is non-invasive. So functional MRI indirectly measures neural activity through local blood oxygenation level dependent signal. In our study, we observed a temporal correlation between brain regions termed resting state functional connectivity. Participants are asked to stay still or be in a resting state in a scanner for about 10 to 20 minutes while we scan their brain. So functional connectivity is also quite simple. Brain regions are functionally connected when neural populations are active at the same time. So let's say we take x-axis as a time and y-axis as a neural activity. If that up-down pattern is similar between two regions, calculated as a temporal correlation, we call them functionally connected. So in very simple terms, we can interpret it as a level of synchrony between those two regions. Okay, in order to study people's mental illness, we had to choose the regions. As a first step, we decided to take a look at the functional connectivity between a region called vmPFC and amygdala. So that's totally fine if you haven't heard of these regions, but the only thing that you need to know is there is a research conducted by Kim that says the connectivity between them is negatively associated with people's anxiety. Okay, to collect that data, we did a study on our campus with 92 first-year undergrads for one academic term. And we first scanned the student at the beginning of the term, and then they studied the mobile sensing part after that. Okay, for mobile sensing data, we have activity, audio, location, sleep, and phone unlock data. And to generate features, our strategy was to basically compute the mean value and standard deviation and sample entropy for each sensing data that we have. We also divided the day into 4 different periods to better interpretability. Okay, we performed 2 analyses. The first one is correlation analysis to see a relationship between functional connectivity and each sensing feature. Also, the second analysis leveraged all sensing data, and we tried to predict brain functional connectivity. Okay, first we performed Spearman's correlation between brain connectivity and each feature. We used BH's false discovery rate for the control of the false positives. And among all sensors, microphone data had the most correlated features. For instance, if you take a look at the top one, it says conversation duration is positively correlated with connectivity, and our value is 0.365. So more conversation, higher connectivity, which is associated with lower anxiety. We don't have time to go through everything, but other sensing features, the results show that a student has stronger connectivity if they regularly spend time at other students' dorm or use their phone in the morning. Okay, the second analysis is the prediction of the brain connectivity with machine learning. As a first step, we set this question as a binary classification problem. So we split the participants based on the median score, and we will be predicting if a person belongs to higher or lower functional connectivity group. Okay, we used 8 different algorithms like SVM, naive-based, tree-based model, and so on. Also, we used 3 tenfold nested cross validation to evaluate the model performance. And we used a technique called sequential forward selection to select the useful features. Okay, here are the results of our balanced binary classification, where baseline would be 50%. The best model was SVC with RBF kernel, and the F1 score was 0.793, and the accuracy was 0.791. And the right figure is a confusion matrix for that model. It seems pretty good. And because my time is limited, I don't have time to show important features, but many of them came from the microphone data. And I think it makes sense considering that there are a lot of features that have relatively higher correlation coefficients. Okay, so in this work, I think I successfully demonstrated that mobile sensing is related to brain imaging data, and we have opened up the new concept of mental health sensing in UbiComp by incorporating the new objective data in form of brain imaging. However, we are aware of many limitations. The first one is our N is small, and they are all undergrads from our campus, so the result cannot be easily generalized. The second one is brain localization could be very critical. So we have to be really careful when we try to interpret our result, because the particular brain region may play a very different role during the cognitive processes. The last one is fMRI is not ubiquitous. So we have to think about how to integrate fMRI if we want to design a self-monitoring or intervention app in the future. Okay, that's it. Thank you for listening.